You are currently a phone duct taped to a wall because I don't have a webcam or a microphone, and this is Benchmaster Sports. The name is a work in progress. Intro here. So, the Kyler Murray sign. What do you guys think of that? I'm not right with it. I mean, it could be worse. Now, my biggest concern here is not with Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray's a very talented football player. Even though people like to talk about, off the field, playing Call of Duty a little bit too much. Hey, get it, alright? If playing Call of Duty too much is a crime, I wouldn't be able to. I'll play Call of Duty. What are you taking for? Should I? Like real man's games, like NBA 2K14 for the Xbox 360, shout out Xbox 360 back there, and NBA 2K26 for the PS5, shout out PS5 out there, and Madden 20, you get the point. Anyhow, where was I? Oh, my biggest concern is not Kyler Murray, or his work ethic for that matter. My biggest concern is JJ McCarthy. I don't know what sound effect I'm adding there in post-production, but better be a cool one. Anyhow, JJ McCarthy, as a certified JJ Glazer, it pains me to see the Kyler Murray inside. But do I think it's a bad thing? Absolutely not. One question I did have, what's going to happen to Max Crosby? Let's think about this before we get into the Kyler Murray signing or what I'm about to say about JJ McCarthy. First string is Kyler Murray. Backup, JJ. Third string, Carson Wentz. Assuming he's back from tearing his elbow in half, I don't know. Are we going to cut Max Crosby? I mean, he didn't play that well as a backup, but I like him. He's a hometown kid. I'm just saying that he transferred to Minnesota from school. He was not D2. It's FCS or FBS. I forget. I don't really care. Max Crosby, I love Max Crosby. Yeah, he's never been a quarterback in the NFL. Still might go, though. He's going to be elite ball knowledge in 5 years, I feel like, unless he goes to Seattle and balls out. Same girl. Oh, back to the point. JJ McCarthy. I'm sorry, I got off topic there. JJ McCarthy. What are we going to do with him? Last year, he played. I'm not going to hold you here. He had some games where I didn't like being a Vikings fan. I didn't like him. I one bit. But as a certified JJ McCarthy player, I'm not giving up yet. Alright, there's still hope I feel like. That being said, I have a notebook full of stats here that go against everything I'm about to say. But I've had enough of them, alright? But I do seriously think he's going to start first one day. Probably, I don't know. We're going to have to re-sign him for the contract. 2 years now, I think. It was a 4-year contract after drafted. And, I don't know if we want to do it. If we do, it's not going to be big money. Assuming he doesn't, go crazy at some point this year. Kyler gets hurt, JJ's going to get hurt. I'm sorry, I keep on. I had a whole spiel plan, and I'm like dodging it with everything I've got here. To the notebook. JJ McCarthy didn't play that great this year. He had a 57.6 completion percentage. He averaged 64-65%. It's a decimal in between there that I didn't write down. Shut up. I'm not sure. I mentioned that earlier. Usually you don't want to throw 7.4% under the average. For example, if I got a 70 on math, I'm a happy guy, alright? If I got a 62.4, I'm not such a happy guy. I don't know if you guys can do that. I'm really VR. He spends like 6 hours a day doing that. I think it's really chill. I'm sorry, I think it's really chill. Anyhow, what's even worse than his completion percentage? 57.6% is not passing, right? It's also not passing for an NFL quarterback, I personally believe, but at least it's like above 50, I guess, the majority of his passes. You know what he didn't throw a majority of? Touchdowns. He didn't throw a majority of touchdowns to interceptions. This ball had 11 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Now JJ McCarthy was previously mentioned. I'd love to say, oh, was it interception? Somebody dropped the ball in the defense. I'd love to call it, Patrick Mahomes to Kadarius Toney. Speaking of which, where's Kadarius Toney? We're assuming a rap. I don't know. I'm sorry. But we just can't do that to JJ. Don't even get me started on Jalen Naylor. I'm sorry. He had 3 fantastic wide receivers in my opinion. Justin Jefferson, 2 touchdowns this year. Just diabolical. I still think he's top 3 league at least. I would say he's top 1. I think he's top 3. Jordan Addison's fantastic. He could be a wide receiver 1 on the Patriots right now as well. Which is fun. They cut stuff on picks. Who cares? I don't know. I was thinking about Jordan Addison. I got sidetracked and then there's Michael Jalen Naylor. Where do I even start? He's going to be a wide receiver 1 in Las Vegas this year, I assume, unless they draft somebody really good. Well, they have to draft in the second round because they're drafting Heisman Mendoza. There we go. I had to think about that one. I gotta stop getting sidetracked. So 11 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Here's a hint. That's bad. 72.6 passer rating. See, when I look at that, I think that's good because, like I mentioned before, if I get a 70 on the test, I'm like, sweet. I'm at 62. I'm less happy. I always forget it's not out of 100. It's not like 132.6 or something. If I got that exactly, my vision was strong. So that was weird. The average is a 92.1. If I get a 92.1 on a test, I'm cheating. Give me some cheating. That's enough. The passer rating is pretty bad. I don't understand what goes into passer rating, to be honest, but I'm gonna assume that being 20 points below the average is good. Rushing upside. I did not rate his rushing yards down this year. I believe it was like 200. You should factor he was out for a lot of the season. I might be overshooting with 200 to be honest. The thing I think of when I think of his rushing upside is that play. I believe it was in the later half of the season. I want to say it was against the Lions, but in the later half of the season against the Lions, he was out. The next game. Maybe it was that first game against the Lions, but I highly doubt it. I think it was like last stretch of games where we were really full about things. But JJ McCarthy scrambles for like 20 yards, and I'm thinking, heck yeah, keep on shooting some radios and watching TV. And then he starts talking to the opponents meanly. Excuse me. The play got reversed wasn't even the first time. I believe that drive stalled out. I think that everybody JJ McCarthy makes me sad. But he had a couple of good games. One quarter that sticks out to me is week 1 against Chicago. An amazing comeback. One of the games. That game against the Lions, I mentioned earlier, where he might have had that big rushing got called back. He played a good game. Against Dallas, he played pretty good. That being said, Dallas had terrible defense last year. But still, he had a couple of good games. That being said, if I were JJ McCarthy right now, I would be shaking in my boots. Did you guys know I could do Family Guy cutaways on command? Observe.
The Vikings signed Kyler Murray. This is worse than the time I lost a deal with the devil. Yeah, I don't know how to play this thing.
That was funny stuff right there. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of that. I'm done talking about JJ McCarthy. It just makes me sad. So on to Kyler Murray, am I right? I'm right. I get to dictate what's wrong and right on this channel. You hear me? You better. Hey, yeah, Kyler Murray. We're getting 1 year, $1.3 million. So you may be thinking, geez, this guy's broke. I mean, you can't even buy a house with that in 2026. In this economy? Keep in mind, that's more than like people work their whole lives for. He's owed $35 million by the Cardinals. If you invest that can turn into generational wealth. That being said, if you invest that can also turn into a big fat goose egg, because investing is dumb, and I spend my money on Pokemon cards and Fortnite. Just kidding, I haven't played Fortnite in a minute. I also don't collect Pokemon cards. Figures of speech, people, come on. I feel like that's like, I don't even know what I was going to say there, but what I found really weird about this contract, like, from what I can tell, there's a no tag clause, which means at the end of the season we cannot franchise tag. So assuming that he plays fantastic, we can't get him back, right? Unless we sign him to a long-term giga extension, or just new contract. And I don't see the Vikings doing that. I mean, maybe they learned from their mistakes with Sam Darnold, but Quesi's fired, anything's possible. But I feel like we're gonna mess up and stick with JJ again. That being said, JJ McCarthy will be a starting quarterback. He's gonna go to Seattle. He's gonna win the Super Bowl. Jalen Milroe is backup, and the Emerald City route artist. That's dead. That means it's been dead for a minute. I'm sorry. The no tag clause. I thought it was really weird. I just thought it was really weird. Now, Kyler Murray. Into the actual play for himself. I think Kyler Murray's very talented. Okay, let's get that straight. He's in the NFL. Every in the NFL is talented. Max Brosmer, who I was just dogging on, could beat me in a foot race, outthrow me, lift more than me, stronger, faster, better, probably smarter than me. I'm not a smart guy, And he was able to read defenses all right until he threw that shovel pass. Was it Tennessee? I got taken for pick six. I don't know. I don't care. It was dumb. What am I talking about? With Kyler Murray, very skilled guy, Heisman winner at 5'10". Do you know how hard it is to win a Heisman Award? Heisman Noza was like the worst Heisman we've had. Now, I say worst with a grain of salt because he's still incredibly talented. I believe he's going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL for a long time. Heisman Noza was not, statistically that crazy. Now, maybe we're going through a defensive renaissance again. We're putting 2 high safeties, and the offensive, era of throwing 5,000 yards in the season is just over. But I don't think that's true, man. I don't know. But Kyler Murray won a Heisman at 5'10", and that's amazing. Being that, I'm taller than 5'10". I'm 5'11" and 3/4. I could say 6 foot, but I'd be lying. I'm not gonna lie on this channel. Tell all the truths. Mormonism. Okay, hold on. Was Kyler Murray being held back in Arizona? This is the question. Personally, I believe probably. Those teams are pretty butt. Marvin Harrison Jr. ruined my fantasy team his rookie year. I would have went all the way, but I needed 5 points from him to probably put up 0. I'm so angry at this. Marvin Harrison Jr. But this year, Jacoby Brissett takes over. He's not winning games, but he's getting close to winning games. All those games, he could have won every game. I feel like he had a chance, but he didn't pull through. Jacoby Brissett, that being, he threw a couple. Did he throw more than one 500-yard game? I don't think so. But I know he threw one. I believe that rookie. Maybe he's a second-year in the league. Logan Wilson guy, incredibly talented. He balled out, and I think he's gonna be fantastic for the Cardinals. That is, but what am I talking about, man? I'm talking about Kyler Murray and the Vikings. I don't want to talk about the Cardinals. I don't want to eat my vegetables. I want ice cream and soda. Dude, I'm geeked. What's up with his work ethic is the question. Now, here's what I think. He got signed in his big extension after his rookie deals. Apologies. And he kind of got an ego boost, all right? He started thinking, I don't need to study as much film. I'm a Heisman winner for Pete's sake, all right? I can do what I want. I'm a billionaire. I have $1 billion. Billion. No. Of course, that's not true. And now he is on a 1-year prove-it deal in Minnesota. That being said, he's still being paid $35 million. So what do you do? Do I think even if he sucks this year, is he going to be a starting quarterback next year, just like Justin Fields? Probably. Justin Fields is going to start the first couple weeks for the Chiefs, by the way, which I'm so happy about because I'm not ready to give up on him. I'm not ready to give up on Justin Fields. Don't pull the plug. But you don't get into the NFL with that work, okay? Hat is dumb because Jamarcus Russell and Johnny Manziel. You don't stay in the NFL as long as, dude, I'm stuttering like a motherfucker. You don't stay in the NFL as long as Kyler Murray has if you don't have work ethic, is what I'm trying to say. Apologies for my stutter. This is where the interesting part about the Cardinals comes in. Who's going to be their starter next year? Do I look like I know? Because I do. Jacoby Brissett. But from what I've heard, from what I've seen on the interweb, they're interested in quarterback Ty Simpson out of Alabama. Do I think Ty Simpson is incredibly talented? Absolutely. Do I think the Cardinals are going to draft him? Probably not. If they do, is he going to be a round 1 pick? I sure hope not. He's probably going to be a round 2 or 3 pick. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if the projected draft. He could be projected to go round 1. I honestly can't tell you. I feel like the real guy coming out of this draft class is that Clemson kid who got hurt. God, what's his name? Kid Klubnik. Isn't that his name? Yeah, Kid Klubnik. He's so talented, then he gets hurt, and all of a sudden nobody's talking about him. He's so good. Garrett Nussmeier, no hype around him, and he's not as good as I think Kid Klubnik is, but also a fantastic player. People should be talking about these guys more, and they're the future of the NFL. You know who I think the future of the Vikings is? JJ McCarthy. Who's going to start this year? Kyler Murray. That's the gist of this video. I could have just said that, but I didn't want to. Now, I'm going to wrap it up here, but if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. There's going to be a grown man underneath your bed cheese. And I'm trying to think of a closing statement here for Vikings. I got it. Kyler Murray. No, I got nothing. I'm thinking real hard. I'm sorry. Kyler Murray's going to get hurt mid-season. J.J. McCarthy's going to take over and throw for 4,000 yards in 8 games, setting an NFL record, take us to the Super Bowl. And it's going to be so awesome. And then he's going to throw a pick in the championship, NFC Championship against the Saints. And, you know, we would just ask, why even ponder passing? You can take a knee and kick a 56-yard field goal. I mean, God's sake, man, this isn't Detroit. This is the Super Bowl.